occasion to interact with enterprises that are operating within the city. We've learned that each of our departments have the opportunity in that interaction to observe signals that could be revealing whether or not the enterprise is legitimate. Hank Dial was hired as our city manager because he's an excellent administrator and budget manager. Write that one down, Hank. In turn, he brings a law enforcement insight that provides each of our departments an eye-opening view that can help our law enforcement efforts in the police department and our fire protection efforts in the fire department. In short, City Manager Dial is creating an early warning system within our departments that will enable our first responders to be proactive in preventing crime. Our city has established itself as a model for revitalization, and particularly a model for revitalization for small cities across the nation. The successful proposal in the America's Best Communities competition has provided us much needed capital that's driving new development in the Highline area, the Fairfield Corridor, and the West End. The effort to create the plan has been 7 years in the making. We've created partnerships with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the U.S. Department of Commerce, the U.S. Economic Development Administration, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the Appalachian Regional Commission, the Federal Highway Administration, the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection, the West Virginia Department of Commerce, the West Virginia Department of Transportation. All have enabled each of these monumental projects to proceed. Huntington has 3 opportunity zones assigned that create economic incentives combined with state historic tax credits. 2 of the opportunity zones make up the entire downtown area adjacent to Marshall University. Senator Shelley Moore Capito has provided assistance that leads us to believe that our downtown is primed for substantial investment, transforming our civic skyline and downtown office and residential space. In turn, cooperative support provided by Senator Bob Plymel and Judge Dan O'Hanlon indicate that the digital city that we have been planning will occur through a public-private partnership in due course. Our efforts to transform the region are more than a dream. They've become an expectation. Partnerships with Marshall University, the newly constituted Mountain Health Network, along with AT&T, have provided us with necessary capacity to assure that we move steadily towards our goals. Fiscal stability, public safety, and economic growth are 3 pillars that we must work on every single day. Our city's growth has established the necessity to formally focus on a 4th pillar, innovation. Federal, state, private, and philanthropic partnerships have provided us with an insight as to the unique opportunities that we have before us. Huntington has become an acknowledged leader in so many fields. At one point, Huntington was always named as the example of how not to do something, how not to proceed. Now, cities around the nation come to visit Huntington to observe how we address public safety, addiction, health care, obesity. United States Environmental Protection Agency uses Huntington as an example for brownfield development. The West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection uses Huntington, cites Huntington as an example of stormwater management to emulate. The U.S. Corps of Engineers, right across the street, recognized the Huntington Water Quality Board for its exceptional management of the Guyandotte floodwall levee. Our partnerships with our congressional legislative delegation are such that we know we can always depend upon support from Senator Manchin, Senator Capito, and Congresswoman Miller. The $350,000 planning grant for the Howe Greer corridor was a direct result of Senator Manchin's efforts. As a matter of fact, it was supposed to we had applied for only a $250,000 grant, didn't get that, and Senator Manchin made sure that we got a $350,000 planning grant. As I've already indicated, Senator Capito has been a strong force on our behalf regarding and supporting our efforts on opportunity zones, but she has been a stalwart advocate on all efforts related to the opioid epidemic. And she's been fully by our side in our response and concerns related to the 11th Street pump station run by our Water Quality Board. We can always depend upon Senator Capito. And just in the same breath, we know that we can depend upon our entire congressional team. We receive support from numerous national organizations. One organization sought our participation, and the relationship continues to pay dividends every single day. That support that we receive from the National League of Cities drives all that we do. They provide us with the opportunity to learn what effective programs are being developed around the nation, whether it be addiction and recovery, homelessness and housing, gun violence and personal safety, economic inequality or economic opportunity, or even health care. We have a resource that continues to pay dividends in providing technical support, assistance on Capitol Hill, and encouragement. The National League of Cities is made up of over 2,400 cities, towns, and villages across the nation. They've embraced us, and we, in turn, are embracing them. Huntington is better because of our relationship with the National League of Cities, and the nation is stronger because the National League of Cities makes our cities, towns, and villages stronger. The judgment and value and greatness of our city is a measure and judgment of the value of our residents. Our city is not on the precipice. We're already there. Make no little plans. Attempt great things. Expect bigger results. There's greatness among us. Our city is being recognized and acknowledged across the state and nation for our innovation and determination. Of course we have challenges. The difference that separates us from most other cities around the nation is that city government does not always have to identify the solutions. Our residents step forward. They identify and accept their assignment and take ownership of the solution. Is it any wonder then that Huntington has become known across the nation as the city of solutions?
concludes the State of the City. Thank you, everyone.